Yep, I did it again. Another surgery, another TenJet surgery, done 2 days ago. Oh my goodness, this time, was so much better, so much better. I found a new doctor, and he's so much better. My last one was shady as F, and it was very clear that he was more interested in getting paid more than anything else, and I really should have been much more careful about choosing a doctor, because for him it was a huge production. I went into an operating room, there were 5 people, he wanted to put me completely under, and he gave me antibiotics, and he sold me a little thing of probiotics for like $60, and then he had me come the next day and just to pick up a boot, and I had to drive all this way, and then he charged that as like an office visit to the insurance. I mean, it was totally shady. And I don't think the antibiotics were even necessary. I mean, it was total BS. I think it was just a reason to charge me for the probiotics. Oh man, I really should report him. He was terrible. And then too, he wanted me to come back every week for physical therapy, and it would just be like his secretary just telling me to like pump my ankle. I mean, it was so crazy. Oh, criminal. This guy is so much better. I definitely have a lot of respect for him, and it was totally different. It was like literally done in like an office with like the reclining chair with the tissue paper. I mean, there's one person and the other person in the room, so like it was like his assistant. Music was on, he was chatting with me like 90% of the time. Easy peasy. And I haven't even taken anything, like no pain medication, not even Tylenol. Even though he did tell me to take Tylenol, I haven't even taken any, because I just feel like with my gut issues is so directly tied to like any medications I've taken. I feel like it's kind of messed up my gut. So I'm kind of traumatized by that, and I'm not going to take anything unless I have to. So I haven't taken a single Tylenol, and it's no big deal. Like, I'll show you what it looks like. So to remind you, TenJet, it's like a needle that gets inserted in, no tendon gets cut. So that's a win for me, because once that's cut, it cannot be undone. I don't care if you got anchors. Mother Nature is so much better than whatever human thing that it'll put in my mind. Anyway, it's a needle that goes in and it shoots out saline and then sucks out the bad tissue. So it breaks up the bad tissue and sucks it out, and I'm hoping that the needle also sucked out oxalate crystals. That would be amazing. Who knows though? That's just my hope. And hopefully it's true. So this is what ankle looks like now. Oops. Like no bandages, nothing to like cut off all my circulation and all that, and no stitches like the last guy. I mean, it's not pretty, but you know, it just looks like a cut, which it is. It's just like a clear bandage, and that's it. So, and then also there was no weird thing on this other side that developed. You know, it was like, just, it's okay, Dragon, it's okay. Sorry, it's my dog. She's a pit bull, but she's like a baby. It's okay. So I'm hell-bent on getting healthy, and not only healthy, but better than ever. And I truly think it can happen, especially now that I know about oxalates. So I had been detoxing from all like supplements and pills for a while, but lately I've been adding some stuff specifically for my oxalates. So I've taken more B1, B6, calcium citrate, magnesium citrate, potassium citrate. So citrates are really good because it binds with the oxalates, and then it gets taken out of the system through the bottom. And so I've been loading up on those, not a lot, but I have been taking those supplements, and I've been drinking a lot of lemon juice, and I've been taking mineral baths. So in the mineral baths, I would put in Epsom salt, baking soda, and Himalayan salt. So those things are supposed to draw out the crystals out of the body, and hopefully they are. One time I did so I've taken 3 of those baths, and one time I did 2 potassium citrate, and then the next morning I woke up with rashes. And I don't know if that was a pure coincidence, because actually last night during dinner I could feel this prickly warm feeling kind of in the back of my neck, and then it kind of migrated like towards my ears and towards the front, and then all through my like arms. It was crazy. And then my boyfriend was like, your ears and your neck is all red. So he gave me a Zyrtec, and actually it faded pretty quickly. But I don't know. So that rash that happened the morning after that one bath with the potassium citrate, and maybe maybe the rashes and itchiness would have happened anyway. I don't know. But just to be safe, I decided to take that out, and I did not wake up with a rash the morning after my last bath, which was 2 nights ago, and I'm going to take one tonight. So I've also gone into the steam room, and by the way, with my bath, I did not submerge my ankle in. My doctor told me not to take baths, and I can only take showers, but I have been taking baths, and not submerging my ankle. So got around that. I've also been going into the steam room to get out a sweat, because sweating is supposed to release oxalates, and I want to do everything I can to get this out. And I'm thinking that too, if it's coming out of the skin, the dumping symptoms or the dumping experience may not be as drastic. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but it's just my feeling that maybe that might be the case. So probably later today I'm going to hit the sauna, not the steam room, but the sauna. I can handle that better. I can last in there much longer than the steam room, because it's like so suffocating to me. All the moisture is like a little bit overwhelming for me. So I'm doing that and staying on the crutches and wearing the boot. I just don't want to mess this up. 7 years is more than enough time for me, and I will, go through the 2 weeks of this boot, and then the 1 week with the crutches. I mean, whatever. Like that time frame is so small compared to the number of years I've endured this ankle pain, which I think was exacerbated by the oxalate poisoning, which was also exacerbated by my gut issues, which may or may not have been caused by the oxalates. But regardless, the gut issues, I feel, definitely contributed to my ankle issues and my osteopenia, which I developed. And because the oxalates bind to calcium, and if it doesn't find it readily in the blood, then it'll leach it out of the bones. And I found out just last week, so a few weeks ago, it was like, I guess, September 19th. More than a few weeks. Today's November 3rd. So like a week and a half ago, I had gotten MRIs on my hip, and I didn't see the images. The doctor that ordered, I didn't see the images, and I just saw the radiologist report that said you might have an acute stress fracture in the femur, and more imaging was recommended. I didn't get the imaging. I didn't think I had a stress fracture because I was able to run. Well, I finally saw the images last week, and I don't know why the radiologist said there might be a stress fracture. This orthopedic doctor was like, you definitely have one. And she showed me the images, and it was insane. It was like this huge crack. Like, okay, let's say this is the top of my femur. It was like a huge line, like unmistakable line on my bone. And it looked big. I mean, I'm sure it looked bigger in the image than in real life. But I was like, holy cow, that for sure is a fracture. And I started the Chicago Marathon and ran like 4 miles on that fracture, which is nuts. And I've done longer runs in the, between the time of my MRI and the race. And since, oh my gosh, no, actually after the race I barely ran, but still I was running on a stress fracture, which is crazy. So that was a big no. But I had run 4 miles after that MRI was taken, and I did not feel pain. So and the radiologist was like, "Oh, there might be one." So I was like, "Nah, there's no stress fracture." Oh yeah, there actually was a stress fracture, and it's weird because in all my runs, like since like that MRI, that left hip didn't hurt at all, and the doctor was like, I asked her, how could I run on this stress fracture? She's like, some people have a really high pain tolerance. And I genuinely don't think I do. I really don't. I don't think I was just being tough, not at all. I mean, it was just, I didn't feel it. I genuinely didn't feel it. So that was crazy, right? But yeah, I think the freaking oxalates caused this osteopenia. And fortunately, it's reversible because Sally Norton had osteopenia, I think, for a long time. And she had foot issues for a really, really, really long time, like way longer than me. And because I think she had she had to quit school for a while because of her foot issues. She had surgery. She was in a wheelchair. She was like, ugh, it was bad. And she completely reversed her osteopenia, and she can like run outside barefoot, which is crazy. Like, I think that again, the osteopenia has caused a lot of things, including like for me walking barefoot. I mean, if I stepped on the tiniest little thing, it felt like I was walking on broken glass. And two, in the last year, I noticed that my eyesight like wasn't quite as sharp. Like I can drive, but I could just tell that the lines around things that were farther away were blurrier. And as I mentioned before, teeth sensitivity, and I think it was all caused by the oxalates. So it's really amazing how things that wouldn't seem connected are. There are people who might have blurry vision because of oxalates, and then someone else who might have fibromyalgia because of oxalates, and it's all because of oxalates. Like, crazy, right? You wouldn't think. And of all the doctors I've seen, literally no one has asked about my diet. None of them. I had to tell them. And it's just bonkers how little trained MDs are when it comes to nutrition and how little they seem to know. It's it's unsettling and disturbing to me because I think nutrition is actually everything. And I'm so traumatized by this whole oxalate thing that I'm nixing almost all nuts and seeds, which I was like caking on the bread I was making all the time. Like, I was eating bread every morning with like sesame seeds and chia seeds caked on, in addition to pumpkin seeds, which are okay actually, walnuts, they're okay, and then sunflower seeds, which I don't think have a lot of oxalates, but it does have lectin. Pumpkin seeds, I'm not sure if they do. I should check on that. So yeah, I'm mixing that, and definitely I've like for a long time, not years, but I was eating these power grain salads from like that. I've got this power grains mix from Costco. It's like organic greens with, and it's, they call it greens, but it's like 80% spinach, maybe 90, and spinach is basically poison. It's so high oxalate. And then I was putting organic tofu on it and having a triple antioxidant berry mix on it, which included raspberries and blackberries. Those are really high in oxalates, and so is the tofu. So it's basically a oxalate bomb. Toxalate. That's good. That was a good accidental mistake. I should call oxalates toxalates, right? Yeah. So those are out the window, and I'm going to be really, really careful. And fortunately, the dumping hasn't been too bad. I know for some people, they wind up in the emergency room and they feel like they're going to die. And hopefully that won't be the case for me. And it hasn't been yet. So I think that's a good sign. I've also been drinking a lot of lemon water because that's supposed to be really good to prevent oxalate crystals formation. I'm trying to think of what other supplements. I've been taking this thing called Kidney Cup off of Amazon. Who knows? The reviews look pretty amazing, but I haven't really felt like a significant difference. But I mean, maybe I'm just not that attuned, or else it's just more gradual. But will have to say, for a while, my left knee was hurting, and it's gone. My left knee no longer hurts. Although I'm still going to get an MRI on it, just to see what's going on in there. And actually, this morning I had an MRI on my right knee because it's still bothering me. It's been bothering me for a little bit, probably a month or more. Um, so that's that. I know that's a lot, right? It's a lot. But I genuinely think that the tide is turning, and hopefully I'll be set for next Chicago in less than a year, because I really need something. I don't know. I need a change. These health issues have been a black cloud hanging over me for a while, and I have a really good life, but these aches and pains, it's really been a cloud hanging over my head, and um, I'll I'm going to be all the more joyful when these issues get fixed, and I'll be delighted to run strong again. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Okay, so that's that. This is getting really long again. So I'll bid you adieu. I hope you're well, and until next time, take care. Bye.